Zo, nou, hier is ondertussen al in ieder geval level 7. Even kijken, moet ik nog een jack erbij maken. Waar hadden we het hier bij de Guardian over? Welke klasse zeggen ze daar? Race. Heeft iemand een ok. Nou, we hebben al de ork erop staan. Een ork valt onder Dragonfall. Oké. Het ligt me net aan wat voor voedsel je pakt natuurlijk. Die is wel cool. Oké, dat klinkt eigenlijk wel een beetje als logisch. Maar zo. Zo. Skip. Tutorial voor mij niet. Nou, eens even kijken, wat hebben wij hier allemaal? Sector 3 is voor beginners. Dekker. Oh. En tweede is nog een beroep. Oh, ik heb daar gewoon een add-on voor, Alt. Die heet Lawbooks. Je laat alles op een map zien. Kun je zelfs instellen of dat die ook de scrolls laat zien die geen scallop geven. En ik heb 2 add-ons, zag ik. En ik denk dat ik die lawbooks niet eens nodig heb. Ik zal het dadelijk even laten zien.
The island sprung a leak. Run!
De island sprong een leak. Dan heeft rennen ook geen zin meer. Ik zal zo even kijken, Alt. Even kijken, wat voor een foto heeft hij van zijn... Oh, hier staat geen foto bij. Het stamina, denk ik. Het zal wel volledig stamina zijn dan. Mutations heb je hier wel bij Warden, oké. ik weet dat mijn tankje is niet volledig stamina. Dus even kijken of hier iets staat. Health en stamina buff, oké. Dus dat is niet echt iets. Passives. Oh, attributes. All into stamina. Dat is handig. Dan hebben we daar ook geen misverstand over. Even kijken. De belangrijkste was die boelmatch. En die komt van MMO Companions. Dat is een upgrade van Patinage. Dat duurt wel even. Dan pakken we het even. Dat zal van de daggers zijn. Cutting dive. Maar dat is de upgrade van dive, dat is mooi. Ik kan het meteen op zijn plaats zetten. Subterranean Assault. Dat is ook van Animal Companions. Bird of Prey. Dat is ook Animal Companions. Oké, dus de hele bar is Animal Companions. Zo goed als. Rearming Trap is van de Fighters Guild. Dat is van Assault. Oh ja, dat moeten we ook doen trouwens. De Lions War. We hebben een Bow. En die daar. Wild Guardian. Dat is van allebei. Dat zal de upgrade van de Feral Guardian zijn. Ja. Dus met andere woorden. Alles zit zo'n beetje in die Animal Companions. De rest niet. Je hebt alleen die passives natuurlijk nodig. Green Balance, gebruikt die iets uit de passives. Dus laten we die dan maar pakken. Dan kunnen we die levelen. En Winter Stinger ook. Heeft hij ook één ding. Zoals die, maar dat maakt niet uit. Allies. Oké. Nou ja, vind ik goed. Wat heb jij? You have received a notification. You have no pending notifications. Daar is altijd fijn. Oké, we beginnen het toe. Iedereen begint echt gewoon met een douane. Wacht. Even kijken. Eerst even kijken of in een van die andere add-ons dat ook in zat die ik erop heb staan. We hebben sowieso Harvest Map. Dat is trouwens een hele fijne. Logbooks. Is dat? Show unknown logbooks. Maar het lijkt alsof ik er 2 heb als ik naar de map kijk. Oei. Kijk. Er zijn 2 icoontjes op elkaar. Ik ben het afvragen waar die paarse van is. Oh, dat is van hem natuurlijk, van die map collection. Ja. Staan we op 2. Dus Harvest Map, die zorgt in ieder geval voor als je iets harvest dat hij dat op de map neerzet. En dan heb ik Logbooks, Lost Treasures en die Sky Shards. Hier beginnen.
First, the Queen issues a decree that changes the status of Somerset from an isolated paradise into a tourist attraction. Now monsters, sea creatures. I've never seen anything like them. Well, I say let the cat fight them. Better him than me. Suddenly the ground opened, spewing water and strange creatures. They attacked us. Luckily, one of the newcomers, a Khajiit, leaped in and drove them back. Called himself Razumdar. He could probably use some help if you're so inclined.
Razumdar. Ah! Is Razumdar weer terug. Je herinner ik me nog van het origineel volgens mij. Razumdar.
Have you ever seen such creatures? Raz has not. Probably neither have you. You are a newcomer, yes? New to this island of high elves? This one has an eye for such things. And you look capable. So can Raz interest you in some cloak and dagger work? Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. Raz has come to Somerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed. Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she is concerned. So Razumdar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report. Raz, as a matter of... True, the device... Something to do... Nothing at all. We need to... While you ask... Raz is Queen Irene. Forsa. She has spoken...
Zo. Volgens mij had hij geen lips nodig, maar dat zie je als je inlogt. Ik ga ervan uit dat je die lips er al op hebt staan. Eigenlijk. Slowbook, Sky Shards.
Go find your own patch of beach.
No, no, no,
Not that
no,
you'd
no.
understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Somerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work? I believe in caution as much as the next high elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers. and she was adept at making dyes. They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to a life.
Ja, succes met
Protection
je
requires
pad.
constant vigilance, so back to it.
Zo. Even kijken, action bar. Oké. En dan wordt hij weer naar beneden. Lekker handig. Kijk, wat wil ik? Oh ja, gewoon kijken waarom dat die verdwenen de hele tijd out of combat. Dat is vervelend. Attribute bars. Sorry, ability bars. Always show. Oh ja, zit er geen autoroute in? Volgens mij wel, hè? Was dat met die? Nee. Was dat een interface? On. Ah, dat was. Even kijken, hier zien we een boekje liggen en een skyshard. Auw. Zoiets op een boppas vlak bij je touw. toch niet zeggen. Ik kan net zo goed gewoon ook aan doen. Oh, had ik die nog niet aan. Niet echt grappig. Zo, doen we hem ook aan. Digital gem. Zo. Die quest in ieder geval vast oppakken. Dat kunnen we niet dadelijk gewoon doen. Gaan we even naar de officiële quest. Ik wil dadelijk die skyshaft in noorden pakken zo te zien. Gewoon in de buurt. Oh. He be dead. Gewoon in die skyshaft. Hier een exploration en een shrine. Dus laten we dat meteen doen. Oh, hier is ook deze quest.
Seeking a sip of fine, headed to the...
Dat doen we dadelijk. Zo, nou die discovered. Dat is ook weer een quest zo te zien. Veel aan de kant dus. Nou, laten we dat meteen doen, anders vergeet ik straks die quest. Zo, de schuin. Hier even de quest oppakken.
You there. Don't just... This kind... Not very... I'm a member of...
Zo. Nou, dan binnen doen we ook dadelijk wel. Hier is even die main quest. Dat ging beter dan verwacht. Laten we meteen even hierboven gaan kijken. Oh ja, zo nu.
A newcomer in the warehouse district. Unusual. But how can I help you today, my friend? The Divine? Who told you that? If a Justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing... No, no. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it. I made my thoughts known. I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing! Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need that. Somerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
Ik moet ook met hem praten. Ik ga ervan uit dat hij... Kijk, dat is Ruzendal. Oh, Captain zit hier niet in de buurt. Die zit daar. Oh. Dan gaan we naar Ruzendal. Dit maar even. Die fighter skill in.
Next time I'm in. Welcome to our excellent. I know, right? Our new. Ah, then.
Zo. Dus de broer, Mage Guild. Laten we die ook meteen even doen. Iedere kill je pure te oprapen level dat, dus op zich wel heel slim om dat zo snel mogelijk op te pakken. Aangezien we toch in allebei kunnen zitten.
This is unheard of. Why have you closed the monastery?
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for us to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequestered? Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Randall's cousin just arrived, but O'Newell's assistant has lived on Somerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Solza have to say? Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the King Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery.
Okay, 5 Claw. That should.
Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quiet.
Okay. Staf gebruiken we niet. Dus die kan we meteen op. Dan zit daar op trouwens. Oh nee, dat is gewoon Warden is oké. Er zit niks op. Yeah, another quest.
Mara, an adventurer? Oh. Rumor.
Oh, is that get better?
I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
This manor is closed by order of the Divine Prosecution, so I'll keep this brief. Aye, Surabane's ring, will I never be rid of that hen? Look, turning away grieving mothers brings me no satisfaction, but this situation is delicate. The Divine Prosecution does not lose prisoners. Ever. Certainly not frightened children like Arathel. Not here, clearly. You really do mean to track him down, don't you? Fine. When we took Arathel into custody, he was only carrying a handful of coin, a tin flute, and some kind of crude map. Our draftsman drew up a few copies for distribution to the bailiffs. They're stacked upstairs near the hearth. It seems the spilling wine? That's a matter for the high...
Shells. We willen niet stelen. Shells kunnen ook info opleveren op skills.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... you say I won some gold?
Don't you remember?
Ik ben niet een trespas, dus ik kan gewoon lopen naar spoor. Bookshelves. Ja, we sowieso kijken als we toch niet aan het rest passen zijn. Op het gemak even boekjes lezen.
No, not now, please. You'll have to ask one of them. Again with the monastery.
Oh, is boven.
The count of 3 to leave. 1.
Nee, ik ben al weg. Oh, dus niet stelen. Dan gaan we dit onderzoeken. Als het toch niet stelen is. Wat hebben we trouwens allemaal gevonden? Necklace met niks. Diagram.
Office, wouldn't you agree?
Het lezen hier in de monasterie. Kijk, we hebben in ieder geval weer alchemie geleveld.
I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios, strange creatures notwithstanding. We need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldark and a disgruntled Kinlady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join?
Ja, dat gaat zo.
Curious pearl.
Eens even kijken of we nog meer kunnen jatten. Ja, jatten, kunnen looten. Stelen doen we niet.
Did someone tell you you could be here?
Yes.
I think not.
Ik heb vrijstelling. Zo. En zo doen we Kachunk.
Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did
Thank the Divines! It's a nightmare! We came to Somerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of the monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please.
Is that a scoffin?
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra. Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
Dus even kijken of ik nog allemaal dingetjes kan vinden. Ja, maar we hebben hier. Ik ga maar eerst routen.
Fortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear.
Daedric cultists?
Oh boy.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures.
What the fuck was dat voor een creature?
The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside.
Nu eens even kijken of dit overloopt. Nee, dus. Kijk, opweks, dat is altijd goed. Wat ook voor alchemie.
Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Sijic Order. Our Right Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Somerset. My inquiries led me here. The Sijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world.
Oh.
Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you an Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Sijic island, for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here.
Dus nou eerst hier kijken. Kijk, shells. Yay, shells.
I don't remember groveling that much when I was a wretch.
Kijk, woodworking. Okay, zo. Nog even shells. Shells. Jewelry crafting. En een leveltje up. Hoe zat het hier? Alles medium zo te zien. Oh, dat hebben we wel, hè? Geloof ik. Omdat ik straks geen ability heb. En die dingen van UC wel heel erg duidelijk, moet ik zeggen. Dus ik denk dat ik die andere loot erop er maar uithaal. Bonus kies tot 5, oké. Dus dat is het voordeel van wapens, als je de ability toch niet nodig hebt. Kunnen we hem achterwege laten. Leren. Waar hebben we nog weer heen? Hey, dagger. Doe die ook maar even als junk. Research, wat zit daarop? Training. Oh, dus die boog die is sowieso interessant. Press not bound to dodge. Nog geen dekker. Ja, kijk. Intimidating is ook wel makkelijk. Oh, mag niet. Dan doen we het volgende skill point eventjes voor zekerheid in. Het is altijd makkelijk om intimidating en persuasion te hebben. Nou, dit ga ik niet overleven. Damn. Oh, dat is een stukje wandelen. En dan moesten we een ability bar weer naar beneden. Erop zal die andere zijn, denk ik. Hè? Goed, of. Dus even uitzetten, even kijken wat hij doet. Deze had ook een erop, geloof ik. Of. Wie was die loot op nou? Was treasures op. Oké, dit is de loot op. Oh, niet map. Dat zat hij, ja. even dodge. T, right. Verder is niks. Ja, wat shells. Ja, maar nog niet. Dus laten we die dan nog even meenemen. Ik ben eigenlijk benieuwd of die loot erop uitgezet heb, of dat die aan de rechterkant is of aan de linkerkant. Ze zijn nog helemaal daar. Nou, dat gaat interessant worden. Oh, dan hebben we even goed nog allebei. Huh. Off, junk off. Dat is de linker. Oké. Dus dan kan ik die add-on als het goed is gewoon uitzetten. Drop. Dan doen we nog even niet reloaden hier binnen. Boven stond het ook veilig. Dan, even kijken of dat inderdaad die loot drop daar links is. Want dan kunnen we die mooi uit laten staan. Dan kunnen we die de volgende keer ook verwijderen. En uiteindelijk krijg ik dan mijn UI fatsoenlijk. Dan kan ik die ook gaan zippen. Oh, crap, nog een head. Dat gaat interessant worden. Daar heb ik sowieso de DPS niet voor. Kut. Au. Nee. God. Weet ik niet of hij mij kan redden. Kost hem dat ook een gebruik soulstone dan. Dat is echt nasty. Dat was een nasty dupe. Zo, heeft het vandaag een beetje lastig.
Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
Dan schuift hij hem de hele tijd. Hij schuift hem elke keer naar beneden. Waarom? Geen idee. Find the marked location, waar ben ik? Hallo?
Though I'm pleased with...
Hij is in ieder geval aan de linkerkant weg. Ja, wat komt daar? Oh, hier langs. Dat is mooi. Hier met van alles en nog wat praten.
Queen Irene promised we'd fall in love. Ah, for that one you...
Talk to the hooded man.
I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm working. So, it didn't instruct you to do anything. That note was meant for someone else. Of course, you already know that. Huh. So, Talarian and his lackeys haven't found him either, huh? Color me surprised. I tried to help the kid, but if he didn't even find my note... Yeah, he's in... Yeah, the mother... Name's...
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement. And by we, Raz means you.
Huh.
Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her. See what she knows about the Oldar. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation... A Sijik? Raz has heard rumors. But there are always rumors about the Sijiks. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, They certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijic mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijic mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avanice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tart.
En een level up. Plop. Oh, daar zijn ook boekjes, boekjes, boekjes. Oh, nee. Nee, ik wil niet stelen. Wij gaan niet stelen. Schenk erop. Kijk, binnen zijn we klaar zo te zien. Daar hebben veel andere kasten die hier zijn. Oh. Hello, sir.
Yes? And who might you be? The Kin Lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's elite. Yes. So you do. And may I...
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with all Dark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Somerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
How bold of you. The Neberah dares to stand in my holy presence. Very well, bold Neberah. What can the new Alldark of Shimmerine do for you? And please, try not to bore me or spray any spittle on my spotless vestments.
So.
You heard that somewhere, did you? I'll have to have a discussion with the Divine Prosecution about how lax our security has become. No, I jest. The Kin Lady and I have nothing but the best interests of Somerset and the newcomers in mind. You really are well informed about things here in Shimmerine, aren't you? For a Neberah. You're right, where are my manners? Using a word you couldn't possibly be expected to understand. It means unwelcome. As in, that's a serious accusation to toss around so casually. What did you say your name was again? I want to make sure to add it to the Divine Prosecution's observation log. For your own protection, you understand. Suddenly remembered some business I need to deal with as well. Feel free to...
refuse to deal with one of the Queen's guests, especially not in my own home. How did you get in here, by the way? No, never mind that. Since you found your way in, I assume you can find your way back out. Before... Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Somerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation.
Okay.
Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aldark's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kinlord Millenfell praised Tilkala to no end. That's preposterous. Aldark Tilkala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Somerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we...
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Aldark himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but I need to hear the Aldark's explanation.
Waarom kijk ik terug naar Grazendag? Waarom niet als bodyguard met haar mee? Lijkt me wezenlijker.
Psst. Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she is not a murderer. This new Aldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what I could discover, he didn't exist before he came to Shimmerine. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Aldark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Aldark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valserin of the Sijic Order, and I agree that the Aldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
Oké, zij is daar. Eerst even hier kijken voor die quest. Zit dat nog een verdieping lager. Dus dat is wat we undercover natuurlijk. Ja, het zat inderdaad een verdieping lager. Creative barrel die ik kan openen. Psst. Zo.
Smells worse than a Riften tavern here.
Sapiart will loosen his grip on us. Seems like such a nice city above. Make him. Just not down here.
Is after the Sapiarch, so I signed up for this.
Oh, dungeon damage dealer. Waarom? Is dit een dungeon?
These potions really stink.
Wordt tijd dat ik de tweede dagger vind. Ow. The fuck? Oh, continue on you. Get it.
Well, well, you made it. You'll forgive me if I don't stand to greet you. I have a thing about social niceties. My spies told me you were coming, but neglected to say why. You're a recent arrival to the Isle, yes? I'm intrigued. What brings you? Ah, Arathel, the reluctant idealist. Yes, I know a bit. He's a friend of ours. I heard he was in a spot of trouble, so I sent a few of my children to collect him. Unfortunately, he bumbled his way into a prison cell. That was ill-advised. We had nothing to do with it. That boy has run afoul of some very dangerous people, and they're not about to let him go. Arathel's a valuable commodity down here. He's young, impressionable, and most importantly, he has access to the Sapiarch. Well, he wasn't lying.
A rival of mine, Miralon, swept Arathel away from us. Lured him in with promises of adventure. Convinced him that killing the Sapiarch would start a revolution. Of course, the boy got cold feet. Now they have him. No, but I know someone who does. I sent one of my children to keep an eye on Miralon's operation. A Khajiit named Zonhai. He'll know where the boy's kept. Explore the tunnels west of here. You'll find Zonhai. Or more likely, I'm the mother. That's fair. I forged it. Well, for the most well enough. 50 years. Clearly, Miralon's because of course not.
Okay. Mag je pas vanaf dat pakken of hierin dat ik drankstoffen mag pakken. Zo wel. En dat is mijn ability power weer naar beneden geschoten. Oh, nee, wel hier.
Not too sure about that Miralon guy yet.
Who's this now?
Zanhi does not wish to fight you, Walker. But he will if he must. You will speak your business, yes? If you were a friend to these Blackwake thugs, you would already know. This one will tell you what he found, but you must act quickly. Miralon plucked Arathel from his cell and brought him here. He means to bend the boy's mind, I think. He claimed the cavern's ahead. But the way is guarded by more Blackwake warriors, and worse. This elf is more than he seems, Walker. He is a spellweaver who consorts with Daedra. If you aim to rescue Arathel, you will have to deal. And if Miralon...
Seems like such a nice city above. Just not down here.
One day we'll stick it to that Sapiarch.
Glad we finally got organized. Maybe now we'll get...
Ziet daar wel een terwijl. Oh, wacht hier.
Not too sure about that Miralon guy yet.
will loosen his grip on us, or we will make him.
Zijn dekkertje doet niet heel veel damage.
Warden was after the Sapiarch. Not sure I signed up for this.
Kijk, die sorcerer een beetje bij kunnen halen.
So the Rat Queen sends her vermin to destroy me. Come then!
Moet je nog meer doen? Ik heb geen aantekening meer, dus ik ga er gewoon naar buiten.
Don't hurt me! Wait, you're not one of them, are you? Sorry, as soon as I saw an opening, I took off running. I didn't even see that drop. Honestly, I'm lucky to be alive. For the moment, at least. My mother is going to kill me. Oh, that's 2 mothers that will want my head. All right, I'll follow.
Zo.
Easy, guardsmen. This boy's under our protection.
All of you, quiet!
So, it's you. When you didn't return, I assumed you had abandoned your search. What are you doing here? Ah, the oft-used "a wizard made me do it" defense. It's an excuse I've heard before. Many, many times. Do you have... It seems this Miralon played a role in a much wider conspiracy. Troubling. I will take this to my superiors. As for the boy, he can go free.
So, You found our lost sheep. Well done. As you can see, I sent for Arathel's mother. She won't speak to me, of course, but she seems appreciative enough. Perhaps this will be a teachable moment for the both of them. One can hope, I suppose. Difficult to say. The fact that he's been fraternizing with Apraxix won't reflect well on him. But at least you proved he's not a murderer. That's something, right? You've done far more than rescue a stray high elf, Karam. Take this.
Take notice, sewer dwellers. I know where you are. Keep your affairs in order, or our next encounter will be far less pleasant.
Thank you so much for finding Arafel. Bless you.
Oh, I think I might want to be an adventurer too.
No, you've had quite enough adventure for one lifetime.
Zo. Even kijken. Waarom zit hier Dagger nog steeds niet bij? Wauw. Laten we die set maar gaan dragen. Die is junk. Die kan ook als junk. Die kan als junk. Nou, die had ook een research wat er verder op healthy. Dus nee, ik moet dat niet hebben. Ik. Oh, hij heeft ze allebei kwijt. Deze wel op de main-end. Zo. Die quest ook weer klaar. Dat wordt goed. Jee, je skill line gained dual wield. Hey Michel, goedenavond. En wij wel, hoe is het met jou? Oh, whoops. Kijk. En hoe is het met de verhuizing? Ah, super. Dan hoef ik hem niet aan te schaffen. Rise of Industry. Hey, dit zegt mij wel iets. Even kijken, voor 8 mei. Oh, dat komt mooi uit. Ik moet Koningsdag toch werken. Dus dan kan ik toch niet streamen en dan kan ik het mooi uitproberen. Rise of Industry. Is dat een sim? Super. Complex strategic tycoon game. Ah, klinkt goed. Doe het met alle plezier. Even kijken dan. Oh ja. Ik denk dat ik best die quest even kan doen. Had jij trouwens nog wat van Yubi gehoord? 2 mei. Oh, dat komt nog beter uit. Nou ja, maakt niet uit. Ik ben de 27e april is dat Koningsdag, dus. Ik moet vanuit thuis werken, dus dan kan ik mooi een Tycoon game spelen. Zonder te streamen. Dus het komt voor mij zelfs perfect uit. Oh, er is nog een quest. Laten we die ook meteen oppakken.
This is... please.
Ja, dat is ook. Hoe hoop ik dat we voor, wat was het? Tot wanneer loopt die actie? Tot maandag of tot en met maandag? Even kijken. Tot en met de 15e middernacht. Oké. Ja, dan is het ook geen pre-order meer natuurlijk, aangezien de 16e released. Mooi. Dus dan doen we zondag gaan we verder met Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster. Dan moet ik nog wat Yubi-punten bij elkaar doen.
One of Somerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out why the Aldark asked Kin Lady Avanice to meet him out here. Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet.
Die is zeker al hier. Dus mocht ik dan maandagavond niks gehoord hebben, dan kan ik hem dan altijd nog halen.
Murder! That wasn't part of the plan, Oldark!
You know nothing of the plan, you fool. Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargains has in store for this pitiful world. Come, Nebara, let me show you the power. Yagra, destroy these fools!
Razumdar apprehended the Kin Lady. They're at the west edge of the Coral Forest. What happened to Aldark Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Aldark. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. Hopefully the pearl I sent to Artaeum can tell us more. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Right Master Ikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story. The Right Master leads the Sijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment, and there, you are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Oké. Zullen we dat maar doen, hè?
Ah, Five Claw. Queen Irene will be disappointed that the King Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Aldark to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes other travelers uneasy about coming here, yes? The Prince of Bargains. That could only be Clavicus Vile. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. Where is the Sijic Sage? Raz would like to ask her what she thinks. The Sijic Order's interest in all of this concerns Razumdar. This one has never had much love of magic, or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. An Eye of Raz, if you will.
Yeah.
Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Sijics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it so he can pass it along to the Queen. Yes, Raz likes this plan. In the meantime, Raz will investigate the Daedric connection.
Raz is cool.
Have you come to gloat? To kick me while I wallow in my own misery? Well, go ahead. I deserve it. I met him at Kinlord Millenthal's party in Eleanor. We had similar ideas about the Queen's decree, and I recommended that he lead the monastery. Somerset isn't a stew pot, and the various races aren't ingredients to be sprinkled in like so much spice. What a hateful accusation! Tilkala told me he was going to send them back where they came from. I had no idea he planned to kill them. I give you my word. I just wanted the newcomers to go away. And to find out he worshipped Daedra? How crude. I certainly hope not. We'll have to get the Divine Prosecution in there to gather up the monks Tilkala brought with him to Shimmerine. We can't have Daedric cultists desecrating a holy site. I suppose I need to beg for mercy from the Proxy Queen.
Oké. Nou, dan laat ik eens even kijken voor die portal. Mission, daar hebben we een of ander. Kijk, iets. Oh, en een boekje.
Don't you think you're taking things a little personally? Let's just go about our own business.
I am a kin lady of Somerset, and you dare address me as though I were one of you common rabble.
Waarom? Wat doe jij nou een keer hier? Even kijken, waar zit die portal? Die. Laten we dat eerst even doen. We zien dat een factie is die ik nog niet ken, die Griffins. Cool! Griffins hier. gekoppeld. Het lijkt allemaal zo op elkaar. Ja, zo zien we wel. De poort zal wel hier open zijn. Nee, wel een hoekje lag. Of hier beneden. Hier beneden dus. Oké, nou, wat de hel is dit? Buiten een mysterieus eiland in de middle of fucking nowhere. We zullen het maar meteen verkennen, dit eiland. Die skyshaft en zo pakken. Er is een delf. Laten we daar nog maar even mee wachten. Dan gaan we eerst even met de Rijtmaster praten.
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him, Val. Now go check on the Pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldark's plot on Somerset. Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sothasil warned us about. Sothasil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his Clockwork City, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Somerset and Artaeum. I sent Valcerin to investigate. Indeed. But not until we finish studying the Pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first.
Dat is toch wel fijn dat hij dat aanbiedt. Heb ik überhaupt een passive van Lights? Nee, helemaal niet.
The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic. We are the Sigic Order, friend of Valcerin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history. The trick involves selecting the correct ritual to reveal those buried memories. While I head inside to begin the augury ritual,
I'd like you to go to Sotha Seal's study in the tower, find my acolyte, Oriandra, and ask her for Sotha Seal's amplification elixir. We may need it if the pearl proves to be resistant to our magic.
Okay. Even kijken, twin slashes moest ik geloof ik hebben. Als ik het goed zag op mijn barretje. Kijk, rending strikes, ja, twin slashes. Ook een skillpoint hebben. Nudge en zo, dat zal ik nog wel niet kunnen, denk ik. Als de bed in uitschrijft heeft. Nou, een scorch ook. Ja, dat is een mof of scorch. Of ik kan dive upgraden. Nee, ik doe deze maar eerst. Die staat daar. Zo. Oh, die zal er nog geen.
Friend of Valseren. Tranquil greetings, Caraval. You will forgive me if I seem awkward. We rarely entertain guests here on Arteum. I am Caloris. Right Master Ichesis told me a great deal about you. I suspect he has plans for you within the Sijic Order. The Right Master holds you in high regard. That is proof enough of your worthiness. The Sijic Order requires practical wisdom, outside perspective. Unless I miss my guess, you can provide both. You would be eager to begin? Good. Eagerness is just what we need. Your first lesson begins now. The Order has detected a number of irregularities, and the first cluster of time breaches appeared on the Isle of Somerset. You should start there. Go speak with my apprentice, Josaja, in the Athenaeum. She will provide the tools you need, a map, Sijic seals, and the Augur of the Obscure.
Okay.
Too reclusive, as you're not only this. The map will show these times. I serve comparative of sorts.
Oh, die zit daar. Ik daar, hier langs. Ik las dat het een questlijn zelf wel meeviel, alleen die grind daarna voor deze was schijnbaar behoorlijk. Dat zijn ook zo. Die lezen. Flauw. Echt flauw. Zoveel kan ik nog niet eens lezen.
Yes, can I help? I don't. I'm indebted. The lore master. It's hard. Yes, it will. None at all. I am. Right. He drove our family.
Ja, dat is toch allemaal geen main quest spul, dus dat maakt niet uit. Ja, ook niet de obscure. Nou, die is in ieder geval niet hier. Oeh. Iets grotere kolom dan ik met mijn tank tegen ben gekomen.
You must be the adventurer that Valseren was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. Oh, I suppose you already talked to the Right Master, seeing as you're here in Kapora Tower. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Right Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha Seal creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valserin's transference spell, the Rite Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Rite Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Rite Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day. Despite opinions to the contrary, being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for membership in the Psijic Order. The Rite Master noticed my potential and invited me to join. I had a year to consider the offer, but I made my decision immediately. I'm not allowed to reveal where you are or how our magic works, other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Psijic Order, Artaeum. While we're not currently part of Nirn's reality, we still keep track of events there.
But we're currently not part of Nirn's reality. Okay.
I could say we have our ways and leave it at that, but you deserve a better explanation. The Rite Master sends Psijics back to the world to perform tasks and gather information. Plus, we have powerful scrying magic that reveals all sorts of details. I was examining the vial of amplification elixir myself just...
Okay. Dus dat kan in ieder geval verklaren waarom het eiland verdwenen is 300 jaar geleden. Dus dat is niet in onze dimensie zitten. Leuke spelletjes.
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valserin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts.
Okay.
We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job.
Okay.
We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here. Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Somerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the Pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of Oblivion. We're missing something, but what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthiel. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valserin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the Pearls. I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. From what I've... The augury... From what I've...
Oké. Maar ik wil terug naar Somerset eigenlijk. Zeg maar. Zal ik hier nog wel vaker terugkomen, denk ik, maar... Even verkennen. Hier zat een kampje, zag ik. Er is nog niks. Doen. Ik weet niet of dat heel slim is om dat nu al te doen. En ook een beetje zwakjes. Zo. Terug naar Sunset. Het is al 10:12. Dan sta ik tijd om een badge op te zoeken. Even vertellen, ligt daar. Oh, dat valt ook wel weer mee. Zit daar daadwerkelijk in. Oké. En die delf. Kunnen die kast gaan even doen. Even niet wel aanberen. Interessante ability. Oké, dus niet daarboven. Die ook niet.
I must say, I've just had the most dreadful day. First, my betrothed runs off with some wood elf, and then she manages to get kidnapped by werewolves. At this rate, my reputation may never recover. To think Nirelin would put me in such a position. What do I care about Brengus? Honestly, I'd rather leave the two lovebirds to their fate. But if word got out that I left Nirelin to die, or if she managed to escape and actually marry that wood elf, suffice to say, I can't just leave her. Well, I'm certainly not risking my life. You have the look of a ruffian. Want to take on the task? If you collect Nirelin, or at least what's left of her, I'll make sure you're paid handsomely. Oh, and you could save Brengus as well, I suppose. Excellent. Once you've finished, meet me near the Mages Guild in Shimmerine. Of course, discretion is key here. I want no word getting out. Do you know how long this marriage... Oh, well, excuse me. I feel as though Naturally.
Oh, het zit hier allebei in die delf. Wat rust, Altje. Oh, dit is niet zo'n hele goede delf. Die kan ik nog wel even doen. Veldharvester. Oké, dat is dood. Nou, eerst even kijken of we er een beetje skyshaft komen. Geen motor ben ik gebruiken. Flauw. Ja, hier. Buiten, binnen. Dat wil ik wel doen. Hunters and Patient Crystal Eat. Ja, hier hebben we daar ook een baasje. Oh. En dan kunnen we waarschijnlijk wel met z'n tweeën aan. DPS ligt nu weer op. Oh kijk, hier hebben we nog iemand. Summon zelfs diverse mensen. Oh, dat zou ik meegaan naar die baas. Nou, hij in ieder geval wel. Oh, daar is het. Kijk, mooi. Hier ligt de rode wolven. Ik denk dat ze waarschijnlijk nog leeft.
hear me! I want... Wait. You're not one of the pack. Well, you're not even a werewolf. You need to leave now. It's far too dangerous here. They've already killed Brengus and... it's too late for me.
Ik ben erbij.
Estidel. I thought I heard him whimpering earlier. I told you, it's already too late. I've been turned. There's no place in Somerset society for a werewolf. I'm doomed to live out the rest of my cursed existence as an outcast. What other choice do I have? I was miserable with Estidel, and I thought Brengus was my one chance to escape, to leave that life behind. He was going to protect me, and in the end, he couldn't even protect himself. No, I can't live like this, serving the very beasts who took everything away from me. Just end it. Please. I'd rather die than be miserable. You can take my signet ring. That will prove to Estidel that you found my corpse.
Ja.
Thank you.
Als jij dat wil.
Remember, this is...
Oh, hoppakee. Hoe doe ik nou een ringboete? Ja. Sinds de maintenance vandaag zijn de laadschermen ontzettend lang. Als ik dat vergelijk, ik speel pas een weekje weer. Als ik dat vergelijk met voor vandaag, dan ja. Het is niet alleen in de desert die heel lang zijn. Het is overal. Dus ik denk dat de servers gewoon een beetje zwaar belast zijn, zo moet ik zeggen. Of ja, de mega server. Want ja, de uitbreiding komt eraan. Mensen beginnen weer met spelen natuurlijk. Ik ben dan niet teruggekomen voor de expansie, maar gewoon meer omdat we het daar gewoon over hadden. Van, je moet Elder Scrolls een keer bekijken. Maar ik heb nog niet eens een max level. Maar ik kan straks wel zeggen, ik heb een character geleveld met release. Eentje met Morrowind als begin en dan nu eentje met Somerset. Ik ga zo slapen. Morgen vroeg is het ook weer op tijd. Oh, ik heb jou helemaal gemist. Bam, bam, bam. Even kijken. Wanneer heb ik weer tijd voor Morrowind te spelen? Of voor Morrowind? Voor ISO te spelen. Volgens mij... Zaterdag pas weer. Ugh. Ik had dat zo vandaag. Als ik keek in de geschiedenis, want daarom heb ik op dinsdag MMO Dinsdag gemaakt. Want ik ben sinds vorige week daarmee begonnen. Zag ik elke keer patchdag maandag. Ik denk, ah, perfect. Maandag patchdag, kan ik op dinsdag gewoon spelen zonder server issues. Ja. Dat ging 1 week goed. Ja, we moeten toch daar praten. Gaan we dat nog even inleveren. Fijne avond. En misschien tot de volgende. Rust alvast. het zo maar even meenemen. Oeh, dat is diep. Misschien moeten we eens linksboven neerzetten trouwens. Wacht, dit eens even doen. Dus die ergens planten, dan zit hij eens boven de chat. Is het ook fatsoenlijk te lezen? Dus kunnen we een beetje zo, dat maakt niet uit. Oh, dit is daaronder. Zo. Oh, krijgen we hier ook weer een kamer. Die zo meteen even op het slot zetten. Zo. Oh, dat is van al mijn characters samen. Oh, dat is helemaal vet. Crafting back. Oké. Kijken met de research wat hij moest hebben. Dat kan ik eigenlijk meteen aanzetten. Divine, bloodthirsty, infused, lemon, sharpened, infused. Robust, sharpened, infused. Ah, aan de andere kant. We zijn nog wel even bezig met levelen natuurlijk. Wat zijn de kill traders? Oh, je zet het niet echt vendors. Oké. En is mijn dingen weer.
There you are. Quickly, over here. Well, were you able to find... I suspected as much. Well, at least now I...
Daar hebben we nog wat. Oké. Oh, de rest zit hier natuurlijk in de grote stad. Hier zit ook housing. Ja, oké. Dus dit is de stad waar we dadelijk heen moeten. Dadelijk. De volgende keer. Even mooi even binnen de stad staan. En dan gaan we er voor vandaag ook mee stoppen. Nou, iedereen bedankt voor het kijken vandaag. Bedankt voor de chat. Bedankt voor de follows. Morgenavond zijn we natuurlijk weer rond de klok van 6:30 met Pirate Woensdag, oftewel Sea of Thieves. De laatste Sea of Thieves stream waar Dennis nog niet getrouwd is, laten we het zo zeggen. Getrouwd vrijdag. Dus gaat allemaal goed komen morgen. Voor nu in ieder geval nog een hele fijne avond. Alvast wat rusten en wellicht tot morgen.